Welcome to Gray Overload. I'm Anthony. Let's talk about Windows as a Service and Microsoft's current update cycle. Windows as a Service is something everyone has an opinion on, and all these updates, the two feature updates a year, have been causing issues. That's undeniable. I've done some videos, and people that comment on them are always asking me questions: Is this broken, or is that broken, or is anyone else seeing that after the update? And family, friends, people I do, I know in the workforce and everything, like business owners, they call me up and say, "Hey, are you seeing this, issue?" And I usually say yes, no, whatever the case is, depending upon how close the workflows are to each other, and then we go from there, right? And it's always my next question: Did you update Windows 10 to the latest feature update? And sometimes they go check, and it's yes. And these feature updates, while they can bring new features, I want to see more stability, more reliability, and have it so people, when they use their computers, they know that they're going to get the performance and reliability they need. And I think that's the most crucial part. But right now, Microsoft's going after two updates a year. That doesn't seem to be changing. They did go through and they say they did kind of adjust a few things here. And I want to touch on the cadence cycle and what to expect from supportability, or what they're going to support and how long they're going to support it. So just to break this down, the four versions of Windows 10 I'm going to touch on is Windows 10 Home, Windows 10 Pro, Windows 10 Education, and Windows 10 Enterprise, and those four additions. So the current versions are 1607, 1703, 1709, and 1803. So those are the versions of Windows 10 that have already been released. Those Enterprise and Education editions will all be supported for 30 months. Now, future releases, the March release, so that's the springtime release of Enterprise, Education, Home, and Pro, are only going to be supported for 18 months. Now, the September, which is supposed to be this month, or I would say fall release, Microsoft should have just put fall in their documentation, been easier. But the fall release is going to be supported for Enterprise and Education for 30 months, and then Home and Pro users for 18. Now, there's no alleviating the pain for home users if they need to go back and stay on something a little bit longer. They only get 18 months. But hopefully what Microsoft is going to do with this, and I don't know, I'm in the Insider Fast Ring preview, and I try to test out Windows as much as possible, but what I'm hoping that happens is that Windows becomes more stable, especially for the Home and the Pro licensed users that are using this day in and day out to boot up the computer. And one thing they want to do is make sure that they get the stuff done when they're on it. They don't want to sit for a wait for an update. They don't want to have it crashing on them. They want to get to work, get off of it, and do the next thing. There's a lot of things that we can do in our life, and one thing that we don't want to do is wait for Windows updates. So while these feature updates can add new features, be helpful, at the end of the day, I want to make sure that my computer's not slowing down because of an update, and two, I want to make sure that it's reliable when I have it up and running. I don't want to have to sit here, have blue screens and everything else. And those are things Microsoft's going to have to make sure that they're ironing out and paying attention to, and listening to users when they do have them, so that they can address this fast and kind of hopefully put in something to mitigate this as much as possible. I can't say never make it happen again. I work in the software industry. I do a whole bunch of testing. The best I can do is make sure that certain things that have already happened, put enough tests in there that it should hopefully never happen again. And I put should in there because it may. But overall, you can kind of see that Microsoft just wants to modernize Windows as a whole, right? And I actually think that Microsoft should just stop calling it Windows 10 and just start calling it Windows. And just, if you're going to have this whole update cycle of 2 updates a year, just call it Windows and be done with this whole Windows 10 and all the weird update names. Fall update 2018, 19, 2018, whatever, spring update, done. And just go forward doing that, or fall, whatever month. Just make it a simple update, and that's it. Do like the 1809. I like that. Just keep that version number and be done. But like, we even have Windows 7, right? And we're expecting this to kind of stop at some point. So, and it is, right? Microsoft so far has not extended that support date. So January 14th, 2020 is going to be the end of support for Windows 7. So if yeah, if you're on it, make sure you're moving there. But they now have extended support to 2023 sometime, but you get to pay for that, and you have to be of enterprise and have special licensing and everything else. So get prepared for that. We're just over a year out on having that basically not be supported anymore, but you're probably going to have to be going to Windows 10 if you have to stick in with the Windows ecosystem, because Windows 8.1, yeah, January 2023, that one's out. So basically, if you have extended support, it's the same time, but then also Windows 8, it's only 3 years after the Windows 7 standard support is ending. One thing Microsoft also has to do with this Windows as a Service is each time that we go through and get a new update, I don't want it to be sitting there and getting the whole, huge install file for Windows, right? Not everything may change, so what should be installed is just those deltas. And I know Microsoft's working on that, and they have to get better at that, more reliable, faster updates, more background side stuff. I think they have that great opportunity to do that. It's just going to take some time and some work. I know that there's some more implementation and better update stuff in this next upcoming update that they've talked about, and I'll touch on that in a later video. But it just needs to be more reliable, more stable, reliability and everything else. One thing that they want with this modernized desktop is security, and they're working on that, right? And each of these updates is supposedly more secure than the last one. So Microsoft constantly works on that to improve that as well. And with these updates as well, we have Microsoft, please don't restart my computer. Please get better at understanding when I'm using my computer, when my active hours are, and what I'm doing, so it's not restarting in the middle of something. Like I said, people don't want to sit and wait for an update. They want to get their work done, and you can update after that. So let me know what your thoughts are on the whole Windows as a Service. Where do you come down on it? I'm hoping that these new 30-month cycles for the fall update help out enterprises, because I know for sure, for what I do and updating the computers, that seems like all I do some days is update and test and everything else software on those new updates. So I'm hoping Microsoft ironed that out, but I'm really interested to know what you guys think of the Windows as a Service, and is it helping you or is it causing you a headache like it does me a lot of times. So with that, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time to help support Gray Overload and help this channel grow. And until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe.